As if I don't have enough projects, I just got a free Bridgeport. Some assembly required. And hey, there's a couple projects behind it that I haven't finished yet. Anyways, the story is my friend's uncle's friend dropped it off at their place like 13 years ago, and they're tired of looking at it. It's been partially taken apart. No one knows why. I think most of the parts are there in those boxes to the left. According to the number there, it's a 1969. It has the slides for a DRO on X and Y. Most of the fuzzy rust stuff can just be wiped away by hand. This is going to take a lot of elbow grease and real grease. Got the motor and the pulleys, the head, drawbar, random pieces from inside the head. I don't know what it's missing. I don't know what might be broken. Maybe someone just liked to take things apart and gave up. Yeah, I've been touching this up with Scotch-Brite. I ran it down this one, and I'm going to say that cleans up pretty well. One other interesting thing about this is there was this stand for the head. I got the drawbar with the collet in there, and that seems pretty handy. Seems like that'll be easy to kind of work on this thing and put it back together. There's some mud dauber nests in here. Not seeing anything too terrible though. Spins pretty smooth. Z moves pretty smooth. I probably get a bunch of dirt in there as I do that. I may have found what's broken. The feed reversing knob goes here, and it seems like there might be a broken screw in that. This is where the hand wheel goes. This whole thing is full of mud dauber nests. There's a lot of parts that are individually packaged here that came out of the head and the quill. I suspect there's going to be a few missing nuts and bolts, but it seems like a lot of the important stuff is there. They already have a new one of these I just found, and it turned out one of these screws, I don't know what they were doing with it, but they like tried to drill it out or something, which is funny because if you just take the head off, this comes right out. So don't know what's going on there, but they had replacements anyway, so I've got all four of those. I've got one of those. I'll keep going. So I'm almost done with the inventory of the head. I'm crossing things off as I see them. I have a few more parts to check. I think they're all there though. And so far I'm not missing anything. I'll probably clean this up further off camera and then I'll reassemble on camera. I should confirm what size this table is. Looks like a standard 9x42, but it'd be nice to know. It is a 9, and it is a 42. Well, that's not great. I was gonna go plug this in and see if the motor worked. It spins beautifully, but 460. Now the data plate has the information scratched off. Looks like it, I can kind of see a 2 there. Looks like here's the wiring diagram to convert it back. I think I'm going to try that. I'll pop the top and verify that's wired like this. And if it is, that probably means it's 460. If I switch it like this, which has low volts instead of high volts, I assume that would turn it back to 220. So the drum switch is wired correctly for high and low range. That doesn't really give me too many more clues about this motor though. I feel like if I take the casing apart, I won't learn anything. I feel like it's just going to be wires to coils. So I don't really want to force this open. So that's a little disheartening. I was hoping to find a panel where I could check the wiring, like on the diagram. This is wired correctly. I don't feel comfortable just plugging in 230 3-phase because of this label. I have to run an errand by a motor repair shop anyway, so I'll take this in there and bite the bullet, see what they say. Hopefully this can be retapped for 230 or just run on 230. Well, I just got the motor back. Doesn't look any different because all you had to do was chip away some of the resin inside the motor and reconnect a couple of the leads. But now it's 230. So I'll put a plug on it and demonstrate it. It's not actually high and low, it's forward and reverse. And if I wire it up wrong, I could just switch two leads and it'll spin the other way. So I'm working on cleaning up the mounting faces first. A lot of elbow grease. Then I'll mount the head and assemble the rest of it. Still debating on what to do here. If I want to pull this whole thing, it's already this far apart. Taking this out isn't too complicated. You just have to take this out, which is that set screw, and then this out, which is those set screws. So I knew that at least these were out. And when I say these, I mean it's similar to what I just pulled out of this hole. They use a set screw and then a like locking set screw. It's the first time I've seen something like this. It's kind of cool. Seems to be the common style among Bridgeports. So those ones are in a bag already. These were still in here. Seems like when they were trying to take this off, because they were just taking things apart, they took this nut off, but really they should have just taken the set screw out, because I believe this will just lift up now. This gear shaft comes out with that cradle up top. It's not going to pull up straight because that gear on the bottom won't pass that gear in the middle. So I'm assuming it's going to come up out of a hole and then tilt and come out. Okay, so that is what happens. I was kind of wondering how that's going to get past. Can do this all one-handed. Forgive the bad lighting, but as long as you support the shaft, you can press against it to push this shaft up. There's a bushing on top and bottom. That's where those two set screws make contact. Let's see if I can pull that shaft out. So there was a double set screw there. Just wiggled it kind of a little bit fore and aft, and it came out. So there's the culprit. I think if I press out this roll pin, that shaft can come out. I can attack that broken screw in the end there. I was getting ready to fix the other shaft, finding my left-hand drill bits and whatnot. And then I thought, I can't be the only person with this problem. So I figured, if I can find a new shaft for under 30 bucks, I'm just going to buy one. And on eBay, this was 15 bucks. So sold immediately. So let's see. This is the new knob that was with the mill that I got. Hopefully it fits. Hopefully I don't just snap it off right here. All right, that works good. Nice. Well, I just reassembled it. Put the shaft in, tapped in that roll pin, and added the knob. There's 3 grooves in the shaft. There's a ball and a spring. Locks it in. I have a working Bridgeport now. Almost. I just fed it back in by hand. I was curious if the worm gear was going to give me a problem by not pulling this shaft out, but just spin it a little bit and push it a little bit and it went right in. So that's good. You can see it kind of backed up to the back face there. All right, I got the clutch back on. So just to test it, I engage it and I let off. So looks like a clutch to me. I don't think those are the right screws for the scale, but they fit and they were with it, so they're on it. Everything kind of falls into place at this point. Looks like a Bridgeport to me. Little bit left to do on the clock spring. At some point in their exploratory surgery, they had loosened up the clock spring housing and it has become unwound. So I need to find out how to hook that back up to that pin. Looks like the spring is still intact, so that's good. I was able to widen that up and put this cover back on, and we are good to go. That is everything that was taken apart is now back together. The only thing missing in this entire puzzle is this knob. But I think I have some knobs that'll work. Now to see if I have power. Let's see if it'll run. Belt's a little loose. Nice. So that's backwards. That's forwards. Brake works, everything works. I might as well throw my Bridgeport vise on the Bridgeport. I had this on my index mill. And I think I need to make a chip before the night is over. The machine's not leveled. In fact, it's wobbly, but I have to take a test cut. Random piece of steel. Let me just clean up the end of that part and I'll call it a day. I don't really want to be machining in my garage too much, but that Y-axis feels awesome.